Shorewood High School class of 2020. Often, the phrase "we made it" is stated in a graduation speech that as a class, we navigated through 4 years together and are now moving on to the next chapter in our lives. This year, however, the phrase "we made it" is even more relevant. Not only did we get through the highs and lows of the past 4 years at Shorewood High School, we were also able to persevere through these past several months. We're finally able to be together on this glorious day to celebrate our graduation. The class of 2020 has truly proven themselves to be the mighty, mighty Greyhounds. Happy graduation day, seniors!
I wrote this speech back in March, when I had an unexpected amount of free time to sit and contemplate my future. This year was always going to be a year of firsts. Hearing back from colleges, making my decision, it was the first time that I had such a big uncertainty in my life, and it was hard knowing that waiting was the only thing I could do. Then suddenly our lives changed. It was terrifying, and I sat at my laptop, staring at a blank screen, struggling to write a message of hope for the future. A message of hope to read at a graduation ceremony that I could no longer picture with any certainty. Something funny happens when people are stuck at home and their lives are put on hold. They start looking at the past. With nothing better to do and no idea what to write about the future, I started writing about the past. I wrote about our read-aloud books and music classes, about pretending to be wizards at recess and the class gecko I got to take care of. I recalled nap time in kindergarten. They would pull out the blue plastic mats and I would lie there, staring out the window and closing my eyes every time the teacher came near. As I grew up and had more work to do, I would often long for a return to nap time. I couldn't remember why I would ever pass it up, why I was so anxious to learn and to play that I couldn't lie still for even a moment. In March, I had all the time in the world to sleep and to rest, the very thing I had wanted for so long, and yet I couldn't wait to return to school. It wasn't just me looking back. Everybody cleaned their rooms and found old yearbooks or classwork. My friends sent me pages of poetry that we had written in grade school, and we laughed imagining the kids we had once been. This is a time of firsts, but it is also a time of lasts. The sad part about this year is not the timing of it, or the missed classwork, or the AP exams. The sad part is every moment that we've missed. I try to write it all down so I'll remember later, but I know that I can't. My friends laughing as we eat our lunch on the floor by the radiator, hurrying to make dandelion crowns before they mow the front lawn. That last day all together, with no idea that it would be anything special. I can't remember all of the moments. I can't write them all down and lay them out flat in chronological order and see our pasts and our presents stretched out before me. I can't recall the first time I met everyone, or my first glimpse of the high school. I can't remember every day at recess, or at grade school assemblies, or when I made my first friend. It took me a while to realize that being conscious of these memories doesn't matter. Our experiences shape us and build who we are today and who we will become tomorrow. Every moment is an opportunity to learn and to grow and to change, even the challenging moments, especially the challenging moments. And as we have grown, we have become a class that I am incredibly proud to be a part of. We have held rallies and protests and learned to fight for what we believe in. We value everyone's voice and ensure that everyone is represented and respected. We've gotten through so much together and we have changed and grown. While there's still uncertainty ahead of us, our past experiences have prepared us for this moment. We are ready to take on the future.
Hello, class of 2020, faculty, parents, and support systems. Parents and support systems, I'd like to start off by thanking you for encouraging us throughout all these years. From helping us brush our teeth and get dressed in the morning as kids, to helping us put on our caps and gowns today. Now teachers, I'd like to take a moment to thank you for putting up with us, for letting us make up our late homework assignments, to just being there to listen to our problems. Both have been monumental in our growth over the last 4 years. Honestly, we wouldn't be who we are now if we didn't have the love and care from both parents and staff. Class of 2020, I want you to look around at your neighbors and realize that we were all brought together for a reason, to shape each other's lives. Now, class of 2020, we have had a lot of ups and downs as a class, especially during high school. From the loss of our beloved classmates, William Pemberton and Megan Friesecke, to not knowing if we would have a graduation at all. The lessons we have taught each other as a class is something that we will always take with us, remembering those truth-defining moments that changed us. Resilience, meaning knowing how to cope in spite of setbacks, barriers, and limited resources. Everyone knows how hard we've had it, but no matter what, we have always made it back, no matter how hard or how far it tested our limits. Someone once said, we can never really leave each other. You know why? Because we made each other who we are. We are burned into each other's DNA. With that being said, every problem we've had, every discussion we've had, class or not, have helped to shape us into the individuals that are graduating today. I can say I am thankful because the people we have watched grow up have turned into these future leaders who can and will make a difference. Throughout all of the events and hardships we've been through, individually and collectively, I can say we made it here to this day. Class, I'd like to leave you with one final quote, which happens to be a personal favorite. Be the change you want to see. Throughout the years, we have lived by this quote. Class of 2020, we didn't sit down and let things happen around us. We advocated and we fought for the changes that we want to see in our school. So continue to live by this quote and take it out into the real world with you. Keep being the change you want to see happen. Every single one of our accomplishments in this place has set the precedence for our future. With that being said, congratulations, class of 2020. We made it, we're here, and we did it. Thank you.
Class of 2020. We make our debut as adults into a chaotic world upended by disease and panic. Everything seems uncertain. Many special moments for us seniors feel like they've been snatched away. The final sports season, the final drama show, the final prom, the final chance to do things as a class, the final act in our K-12 education. But we can make it through.
We're a class of resilience. To put it simply, we and other people our age around the country have been through a lot. We were born soon after 9/11, a time when the country became a place of fear and distrust practically overnight. We grew up in a world where war, potential nuclear threats, and mass shootings unfortunately began to seem like the norm, more like background noise than breaking news. And with the advent of smartphones and social media, we've had to navigate a confusing and even frightening new landscape that generations before never had to face. Misinformation surrounds us, and we constantly have to question whether or not what we hear and discuss is true. And now, as we come of age, we are right in the middle of not only a pandemic, but heightened conflict over racial issues. Our local class of 2020 has also experienced significant loss on top of that. Those of us that went to SIS lost our principal, Mark Harris, in 7th grade. In high school, we lost 2 members of our class along the way, William Pemberton and Megan Frieseke. We must make sure to always keep their memory alive. But through all the anguish and fear, we made it through. We threw ourselves into our passions, whether they were scientific, artistic, or otherwise. We found ways to make each other laugh in the face of sorrow and to respond to our concerns. Especially as of late, members of our grade have participated in demonstrations and in public discourse to fight for their beliefs, taking action in response to the things they deeply care about. We are a class that converts concern into action. We are a class that finds ways to inspire change. We are a class that finds hope. And most importantly, we are a class that needs to preserve these characteristics as we enter this uncertain, volatile world in which our adult lives will play out. We are the class of 2020.
Greetings, parents, guardians, families, friends, and everyone who is watching this virtual graduation ceremony. And especially, greetings, class of 2020. I'm hoping this is not the first time that you've heard my remarks, because that means that we were able to get together for the in-person ceremony. And even if we were able to do that, I also realize that a number of you couldn't come. But I want you to know that if that was the case and you couldn't come, you were missed, and we honored you at the ceremony. Each year I always customize my graduation speech to address the individual class who's about to graduate. And I generally find it pretty difficult to do. Although, after all, a lot of our time has been spent together and we're about to part ways. So I want to make sure that I honor each class appropriately. But without a doubt, this has been the absolute toughest speech to ever put together. I love all of you, and I'm going to miss you so much. But before I get too sappy on you, I do have a common theme for each class that needs to be addressed each year. Do you remember that senior class meeting that we had right at the beginning of the school year? You know, the one where I was trying really hard to drive home the whole, all right, everybody, you can do this. And when I emphasized to you that this year is going to fly by very quickly. And before you know it, you're going to be crossing the stage on June 7th and receiving your diploma. Yes, that speech. And generally speaking, I'm usually right about that. But wow, did I miss on that one this year. Who would have thought? But here we are. As I think back on all of our time together, and I've known many of you since the 2nd grade when I was the principal at Atwater, but also I've known many of you from coaching you in soccer, baseball, and basketball through your elementary school years. I think about everything your class has gone through, so it's pretty easy to land on the theme of resiliency. But to talk about resiliency at this point would be redundant, since your classmates have done so very eloquently before it's my turn to talk. So then I started thinking about delivering my speech to you, and I thought about doing it out on the football field at John Nichols Stadium. And I thought, wow, in my 23 years in the Shorewood School District, I have never seen this before. And that's when I landed on the concept of legacy. How will this class be remembered at Shorewood High School? We could take some time to dwell on the awful ending of this school year because of COVID-19, feel sorry for ourselves, but that just wouldn't be your style. You'd prefer to spend some time relishing the other 13 3/4 years where you have been building that legacy by doing things that I have never seen done before to such a high level. Now, arguably, I may be a little biased towards your class, given that my own son is a member, and I've known some of you for so long. As I said, we built great relationships. But here is the legacy that I see you leaving here at Shorewood High School. There have been classes that have come before you that have faced struggles and challenges, but I've never seen a class have to persevere through more heartbreak and adversity than yours. You responded with grace and compassion at every turn. You held each other up and pressed on. Even when school shut down, you kept your chins up and fought to remain positive in a very tough situation. To say that I am proud of you barely scratches the surface for how I really feel inside about you. Oh, and the kindness that you have shown each other through hard times, but also just in general. The kindness you have shown me is unforgettable. We've had some kind classes come through this place before, but you are something special. We've also had some very polite classes come through Shorewood High School, and I was consistently impressed by the gratitude and appreciation that you've shown for even the smallest things. Like, for example, during passing times, I would sometimes hold a door open for students to exit the building. 100% of the time, you said thanks. This may seem like something that wouldn't be that important, but believe me, it is. There are so many incredible traits that you've put on display for us over your school careers. You're friendly, optimistic, outgoing, and you can be downright tenacious, especially when you stand up for yourselves and each other to make sure that things are done right. But in particular, you have been empathetic towards each other. There is tremendous wisdom in approaching people with a lens of knowing that everyone has something going on, facing some adversity, despite maybe not knowing exactly what it may be. I don't know that I've ever seen a class as a whole do this so well. Oh, and by the way, how about a couple of very tangible items I can point to? The tone that was set by you to start the school year was amazing. The high school looks to the senior class as leaders, and you answered the call in amazing fashion. The environment felt great, and it was because of your leadership. We've had strong starts in years past, but I've never experienced one this strong. Class of 2020, you posted the highest average ACT score in school history since the ACT became the required state test. That is impressive. From an extracurricular standpoint, there's a competition that's sponsored each year by the Wisconsin Sports Network called the WSN Cup. It's based on a scoring system for all sports that get combined, both boys and girls, at each school. Schools earn points based on how well they do. The points are then added up, and the school with the most wins. This year, Shorewood became the first public high school to win the medium-sized cup since it began in 2007. Again, this speaks to the tremendous leadership of your class. And I could certainly speak at greater length about the legacy of the class of 2020, but I'm also acutely aware that nobody hates a short speech. I will simply conclude by saying that this has been an incredible experience and complete privilege getting to know you and to work with you. I just have one wonder, though, and that is, I wonder if I've chosen the right word in legacy. I'm wondering if the word should actually be legendary. I love all of you and truly wish each and every one of you the absolute best in life as you move on to create your next legacy. Take care, and please keep in touch. And with that, Dr. Davis, it is my great honor and my distinct privilege to present to you the Shorewood High School graduating class of 2020.
Thank you, Principal Kenney. On behalf of the Shorewood School Board, it is my honor to accept the recommendation of graduation for the class of 2020, the 96th class of graduates from Shorewood High School. I want to start by saying that all of you have been on the top of our minds since March 13th, and I am thankful for all of your patience, grace, and work to be able to make today possible for one last celebration together. History will remember 2020 for a virus that shut down businesses, schools, and emptied sports arenas, along with a renewed movement for racial justice that is long overdue in our country. And for me, woven into the fabric of this year is all 162 of you, arguably the most successful graduating class in school history. Now, I would guess there's some alumni parents out there that are shaking their heads in defense of their glory years as Greyhounds. But as you heard from Mr. Kenney, your accomplishments are unprecedented academically in the classroom and competitively in your athletic events. Additionally, when you look at the scope of what this class has accomplished artistically on the stage and in the studio, and who you have become as young adults, I would put this class up against any of the previous 95 here in Shorewood. Throughout the last 5 months, at times it has been easy to feel overwhelmed. I will admit, the day I read about the murder hornets, I'm like, come on 2020, really? Murder hornets? But when I stand back and I think about my experiences of watching you grow and achieve together, I am drawn to Leslie Dwight's poem, which begins, what if 2020 isn't canceled? What if 2020 is the year that we've all been waiting for? She concludes by wondering if 2020 is a year that we finally accept the need for change, declare change, work for change, and become the change. A year that we finally band together instead of pushing each other further apart. 2020 isn't canceled, she writes, but rather the most important year of them all. Class of 2020, I do believe that this is the most important year of them all. And I also believe that there is no other class that has proven the ability to lead us forward than you. This is your time. A time for you to move on from the village that raised you to apply your skills, values, tenacity, and humility to make the communities you land in more just places for all of its citizens. So grab your mask, hand sanitizer, and hornet spray, and let's get after it. This is a great time for new adventures in pursuit of a more perfect union. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Shorewood High School class of 2020.
Avery Adams. Kevin Kofi Ajay. Annabelle Louise Ehlers. Alexander Zaid Alden. Elijah Namai Anish. Alexa Marie Antonshorty. Julia Frances Apple. Amalia Catherine Arndt. Catherine Greer Lazar. Christopher Walter Beck. Savannah Joanne Beck Vasquez. Sarah Ann Bender, Jameis Silas Andrew Beckler, Layla Simone Branch, Megan Gladys Brockmeyer, Margaret Ann Bugnacki, Tessa Judith Bullock, Christopher Elijah Bussin, Charles Robert Carrigan, Senna Carrera, Janiyah Quinette Carter, Kevin Lee Carter, Axel Cassidy, Caitlin Ellen Close, Alexander Leonidas Creighton, Kelly Margaret Curtis, Kate Ann Dickman, Gabrielle L. Dingman, Khalid Ishmael Dozier, Zephaniah Marie Eland, Samara Runta Idol, Rachel Elise Amity, John Todd Ewing, Sophia Jordan Fardella, Christopher Jeremiah Farrington, Saren Aragaw Fenta, Eli Frederick Finder, Lucas Yeager Florsheim, Kara Gale Flynn. Catherine Rose Flynn. Paul Stewart Fraser. Noel Raymond Frazier. Emily Elizabeth Friezicki. Megan Friezicki. Pearson Joseph Freilich. Abigail Caroline Gandrew. Serafina Julie Ganther. Austin Charles Gale. Jason Douglas Gale. Filipos Habtom Gabrig Xavier. Nicholas Joseph Glazer. Deshaun Mitchell Griggs. Shira Francis Grinker. Jack Malman Grummer. Felicity Rose Hayes. Jack Elliott Hanaway. Leland Warren Hannawall. Alexandria Marie Hansen. Eric Alexander Hansen Cardona. Nehemiah Harris. Asia Dawn Harsh. Anna Sophia Hitpus. Trinity Marie Higgins. Leanna May Diltz Hill. Ahmad Kimson Ingram. Sydney Rose Jacoby. Vivian Irene Hanairo. Isaiah Alexander Jaquez. Motaba Havid. Mamotaz Kalam. Nia Oline Kamara. Ella Louise Cam. Keon Marcellus Kelly. Meredith Jane Kelly. Colin James Kenney. Noor Khan. Yana Kudyanieheva. Parker Sky Cool. Sasami Aliyah Langford. Charlotte Orr Lehman. Benjamin Abraham Lichtenstein. Benjamin Paul Joseph Lindell. Lauren Marie Locke. Juliet Cheen Loomis. Quinton Arthur Loomis. London Daiwan Lowe. Ivy Rose Dareswicki Lucier. Rachel Jean Ludwig. Maya Star Manella Weston. Ella Mary Louise McClure. Quinn Robert McClure. Diaquez McGee. Kayla Chantel McPike. Magdalena Ann Meissner. Dershawn Mang. Emma Rose Mercuri. Elizabeth Alice Miller. Samuel Marcellus Musto. Zoey Hannah Namaker Baum. Rebecca Nabret. Lindsay Margaret Nelson. Peter Keller Nicholas. Sophie Isabel O'Connor. Sydney Elizabeth Order. Joshua Gary Pack. Dominic Allen Palmisano. Ayush Paudel. Caleb Daniel Pelzik. William Pemberton. Jade Marie Pergel. Christopher Robert Perry. Alexander Nathaniel Peterson. Luciana Therese Phillips. Georgina Elizabeth Pink. Mira Lee Prabhu. Alexander Houston Price. Matilda Grace Prasen Aldani. Ernest Igor Rubayev. Naomi Eliza Raiku. Sawyer Grace Randall. Napriyata Ratchanamfat. Tanaya Robinson. Cameron R. Roquette. Jaden Patrick Roeder. Maria Rosella Rossblock. Henry John Roden. Yakov Rubenstein. Eve Magdalena Runquist. Gabrielle Lang Salud. Elijah James Sanchez Gremling. Sophia Rose Sherwenka. Chloe Grace Schneider. Sunshine Jamie Marie Trudeau Scheimal. Jesus Manuel Cefante. Emma Ann Smith. Zoey Susan Stansberry. Fednice Desalume Stark. Kasumi Stoll. Micah Henry Sweet. Haruka Takada. Zoe Claire Tiffin. Chris Hansen Trost. Jaren Taro Tushiyama. Ian James Valancourt. Eduardo Giuseppe Vargas. Paloma Francis Vogel Del Val. Jenny Vaughn. Sarah Annie Wagner. Ruth Elizabeth Wallach. Dejarian Caprice Warren. Lola Marie Wasserman. Corey Anthony Weatherspoon. Alice Whalen. Philip Noel White. Megan Elise Whitman. Josephine Marquardt Wolniakowski. Maishu Zhao. Maishan Zhao. Ryan Zhao.
Shorewood class of 2020, bravo on these last 4 years. We've certainly enjoyed our time with you. I wish you nothing but the best on the journey that lies ahead. May you travel far in not only what you read and the relationships that you build, but also in the new spaces that you enter and fill. Become the person that this world needs you to be, and that is one with a global lens for all that one does. Once again, it was our pleasure to have you, and I wish you all the best. Tout le meilleur, Shorewood.
Congratulations, graduates. I know this year hasn't panned out like you had hoped, but life doesn't really do it that way, so this is good practice. And I know that most of you have already done great things with it and will continue to do so. So, you will be missed. Thank you for all your contributions to Shorewood High School. I miss your faces in the hallways next year. Be well.
Congratulations, class of 2020, on your graduation. You've endured so much, and I'm so proud of all of your accomplishments. I wish you the best of luck in whatever your next chapter may be, and look forward to hearing of all of your successes. You guys are the greatest.
Congratulations, class of 2020. I wanted to wish you all the best in whatever endeavors you end up doing, whether that is college, career, or the military. Pursue your dreams, follow your hopes, and anything is possible. Good luck.
Woo! Congratulations, class of 2020. Woo! You did it!
Congratulations, Greyhounds. Nice job. Go class of 2020. Yay, Shorewood, you did it!